Good afternoon, everybody. It is high noon here on the East Coast. I'm Lisa Salberg, founder and CEO of the Hypertrophic Cardiomyopathy Association, and your host of Tales from the Heart, a podcast from the HCMA. We'll just call this a special edition of Tales from the Heart because, boy, do we have a tale from the heart for you today. I am working from home today. Got a little boo-boo in the hip, going to the doctor to get that checked out. You know, life managing a body is always complicated, especially post-transplant. So today I have a lovely guest. Her name is Debbie Hamilton. She's known to those of you in our HCM community as a volunteer in our patient education committee. She's participated in many discussion groups in our transplant pathway meeting over many, many years. And Debbie and I have known each other about a decade now, if I had to put some round numbers on it. Many of you have followed Debbie's story. I'm going to give you the very quick version of it because it's long and complicated. But Debbie had a very complicated path to diagnosis of her HCM. Finally get her to diagnosis. We do a management strategy that works to a certain degree, and then transplant becomes our only option. She lives for a transplant. She has a long wait, over a year for the first heart. Took a long time to find that right heart. Unfortunately, it didn't go well after the transplant. And Debbie has had some of the most complications post-transplant that I've ever seen and that most people have ever seen, including a run on ECMO, a pacemaker, a couple of advanced heart failure exacerbations. And now she has been sitting in the Cleveland Clinic for how many days, Debbie?
About 117 today, I think.
So a little over almost 4 months, waiting for a second heart transplant. I woke up this morning to a text message. Debbie, what did the text message say?
I got my call.
Again. So in about 2 hours, you're going back to the operating room. And I wanted to make sure that you knew that your entire HCM ecosystem and community are here with you. And we wanted to bring a light to this very special moment in the transplant journey, now that you've experienced it twice. It's an unreal experience, and I was hoping you could share with our viewers and listeners what it feels like for you today.
It's still surreal. I mean, it's hard to believe. I was woken up at 2 a.m. this morning by the whole team of nurses in this unit because I thought at first it was my monitor had gone off. I'd gone into some sort of funky arrhythmia, which I'm prone to do. And no, it ended up being they had a heart for me. So I've been up since 2. I called Lou while the nurses were still in here and woke him up. I texted everybody, called my mom, woke her up.
And texted me in the middle of the night, but I didn't see it till the morning. So sorry. We have some messages coming in from you from around the world. Jackie's wishing you well. Eric's wishing you well. Don Levitt's wishing you well. Laura Pera, here we go. So you have the love and support of our entire community as you go through this next chapter, which I know is stressful. It's concerning. And I have on my phone here your loving, caring husband, Lou, who has been by your side and taking care of your horses down in Virginia while you're up in Ohio. Lou, you want to come on the line and say hello to everybody and tell them what you're thinking about today?
Good afternoon, everybody. And here we go again. And I'm just in awe and admiration of Debbie's spirit, always pushing forward. All I can say from Virginia is I've crossed the Potomac more than General Lee. A lot of trips to Cleveland. I think this is my 66th trip, something like that. So it's been quite a journey, but I'm glad I'm living it.
And we're glad that you're there to support Debbie through this very complex journey that she's had. And we're just getting messages from all over the place, posting on here of support and love. We know that it takes a village and that Lou has been the foundation of your village and that you feel very strongly about caregiver and family education as it relates to living a life with a chronic disease. And I know you're going You've gone back to school, and hopefully you're going to finish in the next couple of months with a degree in social work, and so that you can help people at a different level. For those of you who are looking at transplant as an option, Debbie is the poster child for resilience. It doesn't always go perfectly smooth, but you stay focused on the future and we move forward. So Lou, thank you for everything you've done to support Debbie during her journey. Thank you to the entire community for everything they've done to cheer Debbie up, send cards, put in posts, remember her through social media, tag her in, and keep her included in the community as she's been hospitalized waiting for this amazing second attempt to transplant. So Lou, I'm going to let you focus on the road and drive your way back up to Ohio. So we're going to say thanks to Lou. Any final words for our crew, Lou, before you head away?
I'm glad I have great weather. She didn't do it in the middle of winter. That's all I can say.
You've got an excellent point there. Okay, drive safely and stay in touch.
Thank you.
So we got Lou to give his points. Now we've got the Czech Republic checking in. Okay, Deb, so we've crossed over into Europe and beyond, and we're getting the entire world to send you good wishes on this very important day. Any other thoughts you'd like to share with everybody?
I'm really overwhelmed.
Good. That's exactly how I wanted you to feel, overwhelmed with love and support as you go into this next transplant. Debbie, I just want to send my best wishes for a very boring recovery. We wish you all the best. I'm going to let a couple of other comments fly in here. We've got about 25 people with us live, lots of great messages being sent. Sarah from our office sending her best wishes to you. And then we have Tanda. I don't know Tanda. Hi, Tanda. Thank you for the prayers. Lakeisha. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I do want to take a moment to acknowledge your donor, your current donor, and his family. Do you want to talk for a moment about your current donor? Because these are tough emotions.
They are. When I found out that I was going to be getting a second heart transplant, that was probably the toughest moment for me, when I knew that I would have to call Tammy up to let her know that I was going to lose Eric's heart. And it was really tough, because to me, it's almost like she's losing Eric twice. And I did not want to put that on her, but she has been more than gracious about everything. And she says Eric allowed me to have these 4 years, and he would understand, and she understands that what he's been able to do has gotten me to where I am, and I need to go forward now. I'm so glad that she's in my life.
And we're sending out our love and respect to Tammy and her family for the gift of a donation and for Eric's ability to get you through these 4 years, which probably wouldn't have worked well with your old heart. I know what that thing looked like. So even though it's been a hard road, I think it's important for people to understand that it's uncommon to need a second transplant.
Right.
But if it needs to be done, there are programs that can do it. Dawn, who's watching, is a double transplant. Esther in our community is a double transplant. So it does happen rarely. I do find some irony that you waited for once in a double super blue moon to get your call. We're hoping that there's a couple of other blue moon calls out there, sending a lot of love and support to Hannah and her family, 6-year-old waiting, or 7-year-old now waiting for a transplant in Texas. Another young man who's waiting in Texas, he's 13. We have other people in the transplant community waiting for those calls. And we're so grateful that you got a second call for a second chance at a life with transplant. Love and respect to all donor families everywhere. I'm in awe of your strength and your poise. You're going in for a second heart transplant in 2 hours, and look at you. What a rock star. You're live on the internet, sharing your story and educating all the way up to the precipice of a second transplant. You know how amazing you are, Debbie? Do you know?
Oh, I'm not at all. But
Yes, you are. And you need to absorb that today and know that we're all there with you. So we've sent out a lot of love. We've raised some awareness about transplantation and a chance for a second transplant. Debbie, we will be thinking of you every step of the way. And I know Lou will keep me in touch, and I will let everybody know how you make your milestones. And I don't know, maybe in a week or two, we'll come back out here and talk to these good people again and show them what it looks like a week out. What do you say? Maybe 2 weeks. I'll be in England.
take me with you.
And you want to stay here right now. I'll come get you later. We'll take another trip at some other time. Debbie, be well. We love you. Sending you off with lots of love and support. And big thanks to your entire team at the Cleveland Clinic who's shepherded you through some really challenging times. So props to our friends over at Cleveland Clinic.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it so much.
You're very, very welcome. Take care.
See you on the flip side.